Betty, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I don't know how you've managed to stay standing all these years. It would have driven a lot of us right over the edge, and indeed it did drive some people over the edge. How have you managed to cope?
It's the determination to get justice in a country where we have a Prime Minister who was a Deputy Minister of Justice in other governments for 14 years, can't understand why people like me are still determined to get justice. And that's what we want. And it's absolutely disgusting, the way that we are being treated. It's diabolical. And he wants to just do the deed. Why is he carrying on with it? Why is he continuing this little game that he's got? All he has to do, he has all the information, he has all the experts, has investigated everything. Everything is there. Accountants, medical people, all sorts of professionals. All he has to do is take that and analyse, it's all been analysed, put it together and get it finished with. But no. But yesterday, when we were in the House of Lords, that was an experience. Here, with these, we were invited into this committee meeting, and these lords were really investigating the Horizon, the blood scandal, and also at Hillsborough. Now, these people, they knew what they were talking about. They tore them to bits. They know things that we don't know. And they worked really hard. And they will continue, and we will do it. And the determination that I have, it'll keep me going. And the anger.
It's the anger that's the anger that I can feel, and quite understandable.
Even after that, 25 years ago, they stole my money. After serving them for 76 years.
And you, Betty,
my husband and I together.
That's right. And you were seen as people who were successful in the post office. You were invited to events to speak because your branch was so successful. Then the Horizon IT system came in, and as soon as it was installed, what happened?
Short. 1,500 every week. And they didn't come to me and say, you can pay 9%, 17%, 37%, 39%, 60%, 100% had to go in the till.
Even though it was nothing to do with you, it wasn't your accounting, it was the IT system which falsely showed.
Oh, but we were told it wasn't the IT system.
But they knew.
It was me. Everything that was wrong in my office was my fault.
Betty, we talked earlier on the programme about the fact that it almost sounds like an organised crime racket because you were having money stolen from you. That's how it feels.
Yes, it does.
It was not your fault. You were told it was your fault.
Yes.
When you rang the helpline, did they do the thing that they did to so many other people and tell you you're the only one?
Oh, all the time. In fact, I had a standing arrangement with my area manager that every Thursday morning I had to phone the post office helpline and tell them the result of my balance the night before. So every Thursday morning I was phoning 8:30. You can't phone before 8:30 because the helpline's not open.
No.
So you stand there with the phone waiting for the clock to go on 8:30, ring them up, I'm 1,600 short, 1,500 short. They knew that there was no support, no nothing. I was the only one that happened.
And this is hardly the behaviour of someone who's stealing the post office's money, to phone them up every week to tell them how much was missing.
That was
but it's not just that. I was looking at the notes of your case last night. I find the cruelty, the actual personal cruelty is extraordinary, because once you'd actually got through your life savings, £100,000, they sacked you. They basically said, they actually wrote to you and said that you were too old and incompetent to carry on running your post office.
That's right.
And they said, with full irony, good luck with your retirement.
That's right.
They said they'd spent too long looking at your case So good luck with your retirement. And you say that letter broke your husband.
Yes.
He was very ill by that stage.
Oh,
He used to sit there looking at it and saying, I can't believe this.
Terrible. Every time you walked into the room, here he was sitting in the settee reading this. And I would say, put that down. And I would go away. The next time you went in, he's sitting reading it again. I had to hide it. I had to hide it so that he wouldn't find it.
You think
He
they
was
drove him
so
to an early
upset
grave,
about
don't
it.
you, Betty? You think
And the last words ever said in the hospital when he took ill, he suffered the same as the king with his cancer, but he also had melanoma. But he had dealt with this for 15 years. And the experts in Newcastle, the North East Cancer Centre, had treated him. They couldn't believe it was a living miracle. For 15 years, they successfully treated him for his cancer. When that came, he changed. And that was it. He went gradually downhill. And this day I went into the hospital and I had to go on the bus. And the bus arrived at the same time. So he knew when I would arrive. And he was sitting up in the bed. And he said, the first thing he always said, any word from the post office? And I was saying, no. The next day, any word from the post office today?
dear.
No.
So it haunted him.
And this went on all the time. And then one day I went in, any word from the post office? Dear, I would say. I said, no. He said, they don't intend to do anything. He said, how could they do that, anything like that to us? How could they do it to us? It was as though they were all his friends over the years. He trusted them 100, 200%. He thought that they were his friends. How can they do that to us?
Betty, you are the most extraordinary person. I don't know what the post office thought they were doing. They were messing with Betty and telling you were incompetent. At 92 years old, I'd put you in charge of the post office right now. You are incredible.
I tell you what, I would increase the trade. I would teach them how to treat customers.
Totally right.
And how to bring business
And also, you would ensure that 100% of all those claims, and when we talk about claims for compensation, we're talking about giving you back your money.
That's what
this is the thing. I know, Betty Brown, if you were in charge, you would have it fixed. And once again, we are all with you. This needs to be settled. It needs to be settled quickly.
Yes.
They've only offered, I know, 60% of your claims so far. Let's get it 100%.
No. They demanded 100% from every sub-postmaster.
Totally.
Now, whenever these experts decide on a figure, I don't care what it is, 100% of that must be paid. The Prime Minister must recognise, paid immediately, finish the whole episode until he realises he's got to pay to get it sorted.
Yeah.
It'll go on and on.
Betty, thank you. We'll put that to the Home Secretary when we speak to her in the next couple of minutes.
In 5 minutes. We'll make this case to her straight away on your behalf.
Thank you.
I have to say that a Post Office spokesperson, who obviously we've been in touch with them, said, we want to see Betty receive full and fair redress as quickly as possible, which we know is also the objective for the officials of the Department for Business and Trade who are dealing with Betty's claim. Post Office will do anything we can to assist the government with this.
Let's get it sorted. Betty, it's just a pleasure to meet you.
And you.
Great to see you.
Many happy returns. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday for you and Joe.
Oh, it's the best birthday present to see you, Betty. Absolutely wonderful. And let's get it sorted. That would be the best gift of all, wouldn't it?